All right, folks, here we go. I'm Mr. Macy. Good to see you. I know some of you guys. Hey, can you hold this and just kind of film what we're doing here? It's going already. So, China. Tell me about China, guys. Three things.
I'm a film guy.
About China. It's say it again. It's isolated. Okay. What else? What else? What else about China? How about like dams and river projects? You learned about that? Yeah? What do you think?
Well, they created the Great Wall of China in the Zhou dynasty.
Okay.
I think that's
Yeah, sounds about right. And what about, have you guys talked about like dams, river projects? No? Anything
this
like
is
that?
ancient.
No? Okay, mostly ancient stuff? Yeah? I think, well, let's just hop into this. So I'm Mr. Macy. I went to China last week. Anyone been there or had a chance to see it? Or? Yeah? Nice. Where'd you go?
Beijing.
Okay, nice. I flew through Beijing, so I was in the airport. I was there for an adventure race. So it was running, biking, caving, rappels, some canyoneering, kind of all kinds of stuff. Four days of racing. And I just want to share a little bit with you guys of some of the stuff we saw. Here's some traditional Chinese food. This was the spread that they made for us before the race. Pretty cool. You can see a variety of fruits, vegetables. We got this boiling hot pot that had chicken and all kinds of stuff in it. That's a guy on my team. It was a 4-person co-ed team, so we had 3 men and 1 woman on the team. Some teams had 2 men, 2 women. Some had 3 women and 1 man. As you can see, we had some biking there. Here's the start of the race. One thing about China, guys, that I realized really quick, there's kind of a different sense of personal space. So you can imagine in China, how many people live in China? Anyone heard of this? Estimates? Billion? Yeah, it's over 1 billion people. Like 1/5 of the world's population, guys, lives in China. And I think because of that, it's an important thing to know about. Probably, I would guess, in your lives, there's people in this room that will be competing for jobs with people in China. Right? With globalization, with kind of the rise of people working from various places around the world, you may be working with people from China or competing for jobs against them. But anyway, with that many people, there's kind of a different sense of personal space. The start of the race, it kind of felt like, you ever hear those stories about like Macy's on the day after Thanksgiving? You know what I mean? Like there's people at the door and like they get stampeded and, you know, someone gets run over. That's what it was like. You can see these like 15 people went down in this pile up here, falling down. So we started the race. After that run, we did this thing. They called it a Chariot Carry. So you can imagine like a little bamboo chair, and next to this bamboo chair, there's 2 long bamboo poles. Like imagine like a princess being carried in a Disney movie or something. So one person on the team had to get in this chair, and the other people had to pick them up and carry them, and then like run with them. Thankfully, it wasn't too long because most of the 3 guys on my team were all kind of small, skinny guys. So we had trouble carrying this thing. Some of the big, strong guys did a lot better. So we did that, and then we did some mountain biking, some swimming, some rafting. We got to this canyon and had to run down it, doing some jumps into water, some rappels, some swimming through pools. And at the end of the canyon where it led into the reservoir, it became mud. It was like literally waist-deep mud. So we're just kind of trudging through this. I mean, the thickest mud you can ever imagine. We're barely coming along. And we look behind us, and there's this team of these Swedish Army guys. So they're Army guys, but they're also in this race, and they're crawling through it. So they've learned in the Army, if you crawl through mud, apparently it works a lot better. And they were going way faster, because you can imagine there's better surface area if you're crawling. So these guys crawled right past us, and we're like, wow, that works well, so we kind of followed them. So anyway, that's why we're all muddy when we finished here. We also got to run through a big cave afterwards. All right, here's a reservoir picture. So check this out. There's a huge dam, 3 Gorges Dam. You guys heard of that? The 3 rivers? Did you chat about it maybe? They have these huge dam projects in China. So this is the reservoir. You can see at some points the water is way up here. Right now, it's, if we go back, it's way down. So these, because of that flooding, basically, it changes the topography of the earth. And in many cases, places where they have ancient artifacts, like in the time period you guys have been studying, a lot of these have been flooded away, right? You build a dam, all of a sudden this river becomes a huge, long lake, like 50 miles long, and a lot of those artifacts and stuff are gone. So that was kind of an interesting thing to go past. We had kayaking, 2 people in each boat. Here's the swimming. It was kind of funky. You start on one side of a reservoir like that. You had to swim across, and then when you got to the other side, you had to pick up 2 of the bikes for your team and put them on this little dinky raft and then paddle back. Here's the catch. The raft wasn't big enough for the whole team. So here's my teammates. That's Mike and Jay and Gretchen. They're all from Colorado. You get this little stick kind of thing to paddle the raft with. And since everyone doesn't fit on the raft, someone has to go behind it. So that's me. I hooked up this little kind of bungee cord onto the raft so they could tow me along, and I kind of flailed around and got water splashed in my face trying to make it back to the other side. And then you get over here, this is that big kind of muddy sort of area, and that's again where possibly there could have been, kind of ancient artifacts and stuff in that area, but it's just been kind of flooded out. Here's a rappel. We had a few of these in the race. You can see there's 4 lines coming down. That was off a bridge. It was a pretty big one. It's probably 600-700 feet vertical, just going down to the ground. So you're clipped into a rope with a harness. Here's some canyoneering going down through the rocks, past some pools and stuff. Some mountain biking, kind of a mix there of little pathways and stuff. You can see a lot of China is sort of densely forested. And a lot of it is, there's deserts, there's high plains, there's a whole mix of stuff in China. Same picture. Here's another rappel. This one was kind of cool. You slid out across a rope, this white one, and then this black rope was the rappel rope. So then you drop down that kind of down to the bottom of this. This is a huge cave that we just came out of. So, pretty cool, guys. If you have a chance to go to China, to learn about it, I was just on Netflix and I watched this China video over the weekend. It's cool. All right, guys, you're out of here. Thanks for listening. Have a good day, and see you later.